got the coffee, I had my espresso, she has a snack, calories up, ready to paint.
Okay, so I think we finally found our spot. We've done what we always do, well, most of the time, is we come to a location, it's adorable, we're like, this is great, let's keep this one in mind, but let's just walk a little bit further. And then fast forward 2 hours later, and we're just walking in loops, and we come right back to the same spot, and that's what we've done. But now, you know, we're confident that this is the right one because we've seen everything. So we're gonna see what we can get with this shot here. We were trying to get a shot with the water, but compositionally it just wasn't working out for us to have a good spot to paint, because it's definitely a little touristy spot. So it's either you kind of commit and just basically talk to people all day, which makes it hard to paint, or you kind of hunker back and then work out a composition that way. And I think this is, I mean, overall this seems like the best way to go about it as far as what we've seen and the amount of time we have left now in the day.
I just have this one on.
So I think what I'm going to do for my composition is keep the horizon lower and have it be a little bit more sky dominant than earth plane dominant. So just because what's happening down below, I can't quite find a really interesting focal point. So rather than trying to push that issue without having something to kind of land on, I'm going to just try and make it a somewhat interesting arrangement of shapes with a little bit of architecture, some trees, some grass, a couple little people, and then hopefully complement that with some cool cloud texture, because we do have a lot of good puffy clouds happening right now. So this is a great opportunity actually to just practice that. White clouds on blue sky, which has all different kinds of personality, so you could do it different every single time. So I'm going to give that a shot. the grass can go. Oh, that's nice. Maybe some of that stuff. Too bright. I like a lot of the elements that are happening. I just feel like a few things could pop a little bit more. So I started adding a bit more purple down here, and I'm gonna kind of get this grass a little bit brighter kind of through here, I think. And then maybe pick a couple pieces on the cloud to kind of just up the value just slightly. And hopefully that'll kind of just give it just a more finished look. But I think it's close. All right, I think I'm gonna call this girl done for now, and bring it back to the studio and see what other finishing touches it needs. I'm gonna take some photos of what I'm looking at right now, and then come back in, and then maybe from there I can pick out a couple little people or a couple more little windows or something like that, just for like kind of smaller detail. But what I try to do mostly was just in the time that I had capture some of the clouds that I was seeing, some of the greens that I was seeing, mostly the colors and the general shape and composition of the piece, and then bring it back home, and that's when you can get some fresh eyes on it and really just try and kind of fine tune it to make it a finished painting. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna call it. It's time to get some more snacks on the way home, and yeah, head back and see what we got back at the studio.
I wiped my painting off the board, wiped it off. Classic wipe off situation. It's totally cool. It happens sometimes. It happens maybe 1 out of 10 times when I come out here.
Honestly, when I first started, I think it was 1 out of 10 times I'd come home with a
Oh yeah, when I
they
first
were all
started,
wipe offs.
1 out of 20 was remotely decent.
Yeah.
So the reason why I had to wipe it off was I went in without a plan. Sometimes that works, most of the time that doesn't work. So what a plan means for me is I do a little sketch. I analyze the scene pretty thoroughly. I look at what the sky's doing, and I make like a judgment call. You know, if the sky keeps changing, it's sunny, it's overcast, it's sunny, it's overcast, I choose one and I stick with it no matter what. So I didn't do a sketch. I didn't look at the sky, and 10 minutes into the painting, everything changed.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is, I highly recommend doing a little sketch ahead of time.
And a sketch ahead of time when the composition is very clear with the focal point.
Right,
And that was our issue. We knew that going in.
Yeah.
But we were like, we're wasting time, so let's just get painting.
Right.
And sometimes that works, but
after 2 hours of walking around trying to find a spot, you gotta just settle. You gotta just settle. We didn't settle, it's beautiful.
No, it's beautiful, of course.
But we kinda did. So, and that's another thing. When you're not like jumping out of your shoes because the scene is so awesome, you have to do a little more work to make it
Move something over here.
Yeah, make it a painting, make it a cool picture.
Yeah.
Make it a cool picture. And so therefore doing the drawing ahead of time, working out some of those visual problems before you start putting paint on the panel. Because when you start putting paint on it, it becomes it's harder to go back. Yeah. And so that's what happened is I just was slopping paint on there and decided, no, I want to change the direction of it. And by that point, there's so much paint on it, it's impossible to do anything. So you have to just wipe it. You win some, you lose some. And here's the thing with plein air painting, you never lose. Because it's still coming out, you're still observing, you're still making like visual decisions.
Yep.
You hopefully
analyzing why it didn't work, right? You know?
And we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
So,
you know, and also just in general, painting outside, there's something about it, there's something very, even if you come home with nothing, there's something so meditative about it, because when do you ever force yourself just to sit and observe and not be chatting with a friend or looking on your phone or doing something else and distracting you from actually being in this moment?
Right.
And I think that's what's so cool about it, which you don't get in the studio.
Exactly. It's always worth going outside and painting.
It is. It's always worth it, you know?
And it's okay if you don't come back with anything.
It is.
It really is. It's fine. You know?
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. You throw a paintbrush or two.
You gotta keep a good attitude about it.
Yeah, you might smash something, but no big deal.